how's your prospecting going for the month now?
It's been going uneven, I guess. It's that time of year where people are maybe starting to think about what we're doing, but not quite yet. So a lot of it is just kind of planting that seed for a
Yeah.
later conversation.
So how many DCs do you have lined up for this month then?
So far, I have five.
That's it already. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's
No, yeah, you have some conversations early on in the year and, they kind of tell you, hey, call me back. And so obviously I have those kind of earmarked for conversations and then, just talking to COIs and see where I can muster up some business.
all right. So did you break that streak of getting ghosted? Because didn't you say like before, right around 4th of July, that was it? And that makes sense. But didn't you say you had like three or four DCs ghost you in a row? Or was that?
I had three for weird reasons though. One, unfortunately his mother had passed away, so we were able to reschedule that one and actually have the meeting.
That's legit.
The other one was unfortunately, we went on the DC and the person never showed up. So I called and they told me that person was no longer with the company. So obviously that was a weird one. So I'm trying to reschedule that with someone else within the organization. And the other one just kind of flat out just never showed up. And no matter how many times I reached out, called, she just completely ignored me. So good thing is that person really wasn't too much of a factor in the sense of decision making. It was just kind of low hanging fruit. And so kind of just going a step above and see if there's anyone else that, take that meeting.
Well, how often would you say you get ghosted? Like for every, I don't know, five meetings, one or higher or
No, honestly, and not, it's, I think I have a very low percentage of being ghosted. It was kind of an anomaly this time
oh,
around.
if you book them right before a holiday, that you might have a higher likelihood of getting ghosted, right? That I imagine.
Yeah, and I think, you kind of learn as you go. One of the things I think that's important to do is that what if you're on a call with them, you send that meeting right away and have them accept it right away. I think it's a challenge when you're like, all right, I'm going to send it to you afterwards, and then they kind of never do, and then you kind of get lost, trying to chase them. But also, yeah, setting them too far in advance, I think, there's a high likelihood that they're just not
Yeah.
going to
No,
show.
I read that somewhere. Might have been Challenger Sale or one of those books where they said the likelihood of a meeting getting canceled goes up dramatically. No, it was a cold call and sales techniques, where it said, you want to book it within less than a week. Otherwise, the likelihood of canceling or getting ghosted goes up, exponentially or dramatically.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, I think you got to have a good enough conversation for them to want to actually talk to you, right? I think sometimes we are in a position where we're just trying to desperately get, a meeting. And so you kind of almost corner them into saying yes. And then they just don't show up because you didn't build enough value or your conversation didn't revolve around it enough for them to feel like, oh, wow, I really need to talk to this guy because, he did kind of uncover some pain points that we are experiencing that we should address at some point. So if you haven't done that, your meetings aren't going to be as good. So,
Now, I just wanted to check in and ask about ghosting this week, but definitely a topic I want to discuss is, getting a profile and what that means, because that actually is a challenge too, because you have five DCs right now. Out of those, how many do you think are going to convert to receiving the data you need to produce a proper analysis?
I don't know, that's a hard one, right? Because when you have discovery calls, if you have good ones, then I think the likelihood obviously increases. It is a big process and the process has to involve good conversations throughout.
Sure. Oh, well, go
Because the
into
goal
that.
is not just to get a discovery call, right? It's to get the
Yeah.
profile to hopefully have an
Yeah.
analysis to
And
hopefully have a
overall,
deal.
exactly. But have you ever been on a call at the end of the DC? You said, this was an amazing DC. It sounds like they're ready to go. They want to send us info. And then you had trouble collecting that info. Has that ever happened?
That happens. I mean, that definitely happens mainly because, you need to position this thing to be kind of seamless, right? Like, we've gone through trainings and, you hear, don't give them homework, don't give them more of a process to do. So having a strategic kind of approach to collecting this data is important, right? If you right off the bat you send them this email with this laundry list of things you need, then it becomes a little burdensome. And I think that's where people start having challenges. So yeah, that's a challenge. It is difficult, especially now that we're collecting dependent data. And if the company's big enough, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you're on the right path right now for the month with 5 DCs already. You're probably gonna hit. What are your monthly goals?
8 DCs, 2 profiles, we are definitely coming into that busy season. So
You're on your way to President's Club,
I hope so. That's the goal
Vice President's Club. Actually, we don't. Neither of us will ever get to President's Club. You want to know why?
because we're already past.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. It's in our company. It's only for people who are 2 years or less.
Hey
You
man,
get
look, I love the accolades, but
Vice
ultimately I'm here
President's
to
Club.
close some deals, right?
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, let's just connect again next week and see if we can talk about other challenges. But right now, not getting ghosted is the goal of those 5 DCs. I actually have only 3, so I'm a little behind you, but I'll hope to get caught up and give me some more tips, and we'll connect again next week.
Sounds good, man. I
All right.
appreciate you.
Thanks.